How is your macro book positioned right now?
I got short Friday for the first time in a while, both stocks and credit, kind of selling into the Fed's last, big bazooka of buying high yield. But, it's not a structural position. It's a tactical position. I'll trade short for a while. But it was the first time I've really net been big short, since the lows. I also, I still am long gold. I'm long Bitcoin. We are seeing a monetization of debt like we have never seen in our lifetimes, and it's not just here in the U.S. Right, with the Fed buying everything. It's a global monetization, and to me, in the long run, that has to make hard assets look better. Gold has certainly been outperforming. Bitcoin's an interesting story. This is the time for Bitcoin. It got wiped out in the. Hang
on a second. I've heard that before. I've heard this is the time for Bitcoin before. Why is this the time for? Why, if central banks around the world are embarking on a monetary debasement that dwarfs quantitative easing, why is Bitcoin at 6,700 and not at 25,000?
You got to still remember it's an 11-year-old experiment, and it's only in the last year where it really has become a macro weapon, an investment choice. And I'm seeing, literally in the last month, hedge funds and high net worth individuals who had never bought it before who are buying it. And so it's no longer a question of explain it to me. How does it work? What does this mean? It's like, okay, I'm going to take a risk. Listen, the risk on any store of value, if it's gold, is that enough people believe in it. And so it's still a question of adoption. I'm just seeing more adoption here in the U.S. and in Europe than I have literally since I started this. Why is it down? Listen, Asian retail is still a big part of this. The Chinese economy is getting hit. There's a lot of leverage in the system in the Asian retail side of crypto, and so there are still sellers coming out of Asia. The China-U.S. relation and the China-European relationships are going to be relooked at in lots of ways as the dust settles in this thing. And so I think the heaviness that we see even overnight, right, Bitcoin is down 500 points, is mostly coming out of Asia. And so it's something we're looking into. But the positive side is I literally see new players coming in every day.
What?
And, we have the halving coming up. Bitcoin is a instrument with no inflation or with very little inflation, and the inflation rate is getting cut in half right as the Fed is saying, we'll print as many dollars as you can want.